and Eureka. Wait, there's no light on there. Hey guys, today I'm working on a little different project, and I'm not necessarily fixing something today, which is kind of different from me usually when I'm working on stuff in the garage. It's usually fixing something, but I'm planning on doing a little bit of an upgrade today. We're working on my 2014 Sierra, and I gotta say, I had an '07 truck before, and when they brought out the 14s, I mean, I didn't buy this truck new, but I bought it a couple of years ago now, and the upgrades that they made in the difference in the '07s, '08s, and that '07 to '13 generation compared to the 14s and up, it's substantially upgraded. I don't care what anybody says. You can complain about all you want, but the upgrades are good. There's a little bit of cleaning. Local car wash isn't doing very good these days. But with the upgrades that they did do, they switched in 14 on the Sierras to a single bulb halogen projector light setup, which I'm not sure if you've got a Sierra, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It's like 1998 Chev all over again. It's just abysmal lighting out of these bulbs. So looking at doing a bit of an upgrade on there. I know the Silverado guys, it's kind of interesting when they started deviating the brands a little bit more. The Silverado guys still got a dual stacked headlight, and so I don't have any experience with that myself driving one, whether it's any better than this, but it can't be worse because, like I said, these are just terrible lights. So and I don't know if it's, I guess what I want to test in this project today is I want to see, is it a design flaw where the projector just doesn't work very good, or is it the fact that the bulb should have been an HID or an LED right out of the gate? So they rolled these headlights for 2 years in there, in 14 and 15 generation, and the 16s they went to a projector LED bulb in these trucks. So I'm guessing there was a reason for that. Probably a lot of complaining went on, not gonna lie, and I can see why. But it's been an upgrade I've been meaning to do for a while, and we're going to see if it makes any difference or not. I've also got LED fog lights to go in there, see if we can change that up. Some guys were like, hey, put a light bar in there, and never have to worry about it again. I might do that eventually, but I want to see with this kind of test that we're doing whether upgrading the bulbs makes any difference or not, or if a guy just needs to go right to a light bar. But I kind of want to max out the stock application before we do a full, headlight upgrade or something. So that's where I'm at today. Hope you guys are interested in that and wanting to see what it looks like to have a LED bulb. I got a before shot. We'll make sure to show you that, and we'll show you what it looks like after, and I'll give you my review on whether it feels better or not. So anyway, stay tuned. We're gonna get into that right away here and see what it looks like. So got my little heater. If you know anything about cold weather, that's not making any difference, but it's nice to stand in front of. And yeah, we'll get into whatever might be in this little box over here. So. Alright. So inevitably somebody's going to ask me what kind of bulb did you go with. And to be honest, I didn't get too excited about it. I went on Amazon and I didn't order the cheapest bulb I could find, but I certainly didn't order the high-end ones. What I wanted to do is I wanted to make sure that there was a resistor pack. Some of them didn't come, I found, with some of the kits that you can get out there. So you need a little box on there to make sure that your amperage is going to the right amount for the LED bulb. It changes a little bit there. So we got that, and these are, I believe, the fog lights, which look a little more heavy duty than I thought they'd be. So they may be semi-driving lights. We'll see how that turns out. They're totally legal, don't worry about it. And then these are the headlights, actually. They came in a little different box. So the fog lights were a Quake World S55 sort of light, whatever it's called. So that's that. And then these are the headlight bulbs, and they're a seal light LED lighting kit. So the packaging is cool. I don't know if that makes any difference on how good the lights are or not. We'll find out. But here, so you got a package, you got a light there. Nice thing about moving to LEDs is you don't have to worry about your oily fingers on those halogen bulbs anymore. So some kits I found when I was looking online, they didn't come with this box, or they sold it separately, just to make sure that the voltage was correct. Yeah, make sure that you get something that has that in there. It's probably going to cost you more, and the bulbs are going to pay twice as much money. These ones have a little fan in there. I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's a little fan inside there. So yeah, I hope those aren't too noisy. When LEDs came out, it was all about energy efficiency and how low voltage or wattage they took, but now with high powered ones, they actually need fans to cool them because it gets so hot. So, okay, so we got the thing back here. Oh, jeez, man. One of these videos, I'm going to make a detailing video about how to get everything cleaned up because it's such a mess. But first, we'll just pull this cap off here. Nice and clean in there yet. Anyway, that's a good sign. Clip the old light out. If you need a video on unclipping the light, I can make one for you, but probably something in the owner's manual about that as well. I've never taken these bulbs out of here before. This is the first time, so we'll see what they look like. So that's all the lighting output that they have in these trucks. That's the whole thing. Yeah, can't say that that's working too good. With the new LED kit, most of the light bulb is the same. They've got this kind of black coating on this one here, but for the most part it's pretty well the same. So one thing I'm wondering about, going to need to stick this little box either inside the housing, which probably will fit in there. Just a question of whether we can secure it properly or not. First thing is just clip the resistor box in there. I think what we'll do is we'll test it all out, because often when you buy stuff on Amazon, it doesn't work. I need to remember with LED lights that they're polarity biased. It's always a good sign when everything works the first time. This is not going to be as easy on the other side, I'll tell you that. Lock her in there. Okay. So I'm just doing a test. This isn't where it's going to stay, but we're just going to see what it looks like. And Eureka! Wait, there's no light on there. I got the halogen bulb. Nice thing about the halogen bulbs, I guess, is they're reasonably reliable. But what's up with that? Always good when you buy brand new stuff and it doesn't work. What are the odds that the red one would be positive and the blue one would be negative, eh? Put in there. Nothing. Easy upgrade. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, so I've done a little diagnosing. Okay, so I spent about 15 or 20 minutes doing some reading online, and this may be something that anybody has an issue of. I did mention before that LED lights, HID lights, they're all broken already. Perfect. They're all polarity sensitive, so you need to make sure that your plugs are turned the right way. So we're going to look into that real quick here, see if that's the issue. But something I wanted to notice, I just plugged in the factory headlight bulb for just to make sure that the truck harness was still good, and it fired up right away. But one thing I noticed is, like, it's a little wonder that these headlights are so terrible. I mean, you know, this is almost as bright as a Christmas light, you know, on a tree. So I really strongly question what the design plan was on these headlight bulbs, because they're just not very bright. So so hopefully we can get this LED set up so it's figured out here and go from there. So okay, so if you ever want to check polarity on anything, what you do is you get yourself a multimeter, plug in your pins, and then when you got your positive wire and your negative set up correctly, you're going to see that it just shows your regular voltage here. In this case, it's just under 11.5 volts. But what would happen is if you take your pins out of here and you switch them around, this will actually go negative 11.5, negative 12. And then you know you're at reverse polarity. So you always want to make sure that you double check that beforehand, that you know, when you're looking at these LED bulbs, you get the polarity correct. And I should have done that right off the hop, but some days you think you got her figured out more than you do. In this case, it's what you would think. There's a red wire and a black wire, and the red wire is the positive and the black wire is the negative. So I'm just going to take this little box off here again. I learned in my travels that they call this box a driver. So and actually, I don't know if you can see that, but your LED bulbs on the plug should have a negative and a positive, and that'll also help you define which way your polarity is. Okay, so what you'll see here Lights on, lights off. So what I did is I actually just fired up the truck there again. There was a suggestion made that you might have low voltage or low amperage and your light may not come on. I wanted to check and see if running the truck for a minute had possibly charged up the battery enough to get the lights to go. Just so if you guys are doing this, you know what might be the issue as well. So let's see. Interesting. Well, for the most part, it's worked. So, as far as I can tell you at the moment, checking polarity is important. It might have something to do with just running the truck to make sure that you got enough juice in the battery. Can't see that on the voltmeter right now, but that might be a possibility. And the other thing you can check apparently is check your amperages on your fuse, and somebody suggested try going up an amp, 5 amps on a fuse if you're running out of power. So try that. Something that I should note. I've never seen anybody talk about this before, so I'm going to mention it. In these 2014 Sierra trucks, and there's other projector headlights, I'm assuming they're all very similar that way. There's a single bulb, and the way you get the headlight to go from a high beam to a low beam is there's a bulb and then there's a lid that comes over top of the bulb. And when you go to high beam, the lid opens. When you close it, it puts the eyelid back over the bulb to go into low beam mode. And the way that works is there's a little gearing system in there and a little motor, and you can actually, if you pin your head inside your headlight housing, you'll be able to see the gear system there. Make sure that none of your wires are going to interfere with any of that, or otherwise you're going to possibly break something. It's all pretty, it's plastic, and it gets cold, and when it's running it may not function properly, it might break. If you break that, the headlights are, find a set for $600, but I mean they're at least that kind of money. So if you just properly secure the driver and the wiring from your LED bulb in there, you're going to save yourself a few bucks down the road, hopefully. So gotta say this kit has a pretty solid feeling connector, and it seems like it sits in the housing very well. So that's a good sign. Okay, let's see what we got. Okay, so just thought I'd give you a bit of a show you what it looks like with the LED bulb compared to the halogen bulb. That angle, it actually looks like the halogen bulb is brighter. As you can see, my heater there, you can almost see the difference in the lighting output right there. Just how much this area is. It's kind of glazed over. It looks very much more focused on this end from the LED bulb, and it may not particularly look like it's brighter, but it looks more focused. And so I'm hoping that makes a difference in these headlights. We're going to try the other side. It's going to be a little bit more work, I guess, to get that side, but at least I got my bulb system figured out there. Got that working good. And we'll go back to the install on the other side. So. I'm not sure if anybody else's Sierra just like steams after you just had it washed. I don't know if you can see it steam in there or not, but these trucks are so weird. You can actually see the steam imprint on the interesting grill there. Yeah, I'm not sure. It seems like these trucks hold water, or they're sealed really well, but pull up to a stoplight and it'll start steaming on you. I think it's on fire. It's the weirdest thing. But anyway, okay, we're gonna get into this other side here. So, ooh.